Mabuhay, kamasta kayo, and welcome to another video. So we're going to be pollinating some Euphorbia for the first time in this video. I got my two Symmetricas in bloom, and this Obesa as well. Now Euphorbia obesa is a dioecious plant, meaning male and female reproductive systems occur on separate plants. Both plants produce flowers, however one plant has the male reproductive parts and the other plant has the female parts. And obviously you need both to be able to pollinate them. Now the two Symmetrica and the Obesa here are all female. But this little guy that Edith got me a few years ago, flowering for the first time, is a male. Only a couple of flowers on it and only one is open at the moment. But I'll try and show you the best I can the differences between the two. It can be difficult to tell just by looking at them because the flowers are so small. So on the left is the male and on the right is the female. You can see on the male there are tiny pollen-bearing flowers within the cyathium. It can have several of these, while in female plants there is only one flower per cyathium, and the female flowers produce these branched triangular shaped stigma on them. Quite easy to tell them apart when you can see them this close. From what I've read online, female Obesa tend to outnumber the males, so I was a bit worried this one would turn out to be female as well, and the only way to tell them apart is when they do flower. I have heard they can change sex as well. There is a bit of information online about that, but it's not well understood or why it happens. So now I have this male and the three females all in bloom, and this lucky guy is hopefully going to pollinate all three. Need to be quick as well because some of the flowers on the female plants are almost finished. I'm going to use my Haworthia pollination tool for this. This single bristle from a paintbrush that's glued on the end of a wooden skewer. So hopefully I can get a good shot of this as I'm pollinating them. Touch this against the pollen bearing male flower. Definitely got some pollen on there. Hopefully you can see that. Then transfer that pollen to the stigma on the female flowers. I'm going to try and pollinate as many of the flowers as I can. So just going to load the bristle up with pollen each time and go to each flower. I think I got pollen to pretty much all the flowers. If we've been successful, these will swell up and form seed pods. So it's been 5 days. I've been pollinating the flowers every day and we've been successful. The Obesa has at least 2, possibly 3 seed pods beginning to form. Definitely got some forming on one of the Symmetrica as well. You can see the Symmetrica flowers look a bit different to the flowers on the Obesa. The flowers are more numerous and branched. It's one of the ways to tell these two plants apart. Symmetrica tends to grow more rounded in shape. Obesa grows more columnar as it ages. The epidermis on Symmetrica tends to be a darker green and more shiny, and Obesa is a more dull greenish grey colour. The roots on Symmetrica are also more tuberous than those of Obesa. Right, it's been a couple of weeks now and we have a fair amount of seed pods on both plants. There's 6 on the Obesa. Each one of these pods contains 1 to 3 seeds. So if we get the maximum amount in each, that's a potential of 18 seeds. Loads of pods on one of the Symmetrica. We're going to get a lot of seeds from this one. You can see they're already starting to ripen and change colour. Now when Euphorbia seed pods are ready, they explode violently and scatter the seeds everywhere. So the next step is to contain the seeds so we don't lose any. So there's a few different methods you can use to prevent losing any of the seeds. One is you can use a bit of wood glue on the pods. They'll still split and crack open, but they shouldn't shoot the seeds out across the room. The method I'm going to use though is simply putting some fine mesh over them. You can use any type of mesh as long as the holes aren't bigger than the seeds. But Obesa seeds aren't tiny, so there's no chance of them falling through this. And I'll put another one over the top. So we've created like a catch net. Any pods that explode, the seeds will fall down in between the two nets. Same again for the Obesa. I have to thank Edith for getting me these nets. They've come in very handy for quite a few things now. And there we go. So it's just a matter of waiting now. I'm guessing another couple of weeks, so about a month in total until the seeds are ready. Okay, so it's been a little over a month since we pollinated the Euphorbia, and I think we could have an issue with the Symmetrica. I noticed today that some of the pods have fallen off the plant without exploding, including a few that haven't fully ripened. Took a couple of the seeds out already, and these don't look like how they're supposed to. They're pale in colour. I've seen pictures of Obesa seeds and they're a dark greyish brown colour. Can't find any pictures of Symmetrica seeds, but I'm guessing they would look identical to Obesa seeds. One seed broke apart as well and it's hollow inside. Right, let's get these out of here and have a look at the rest. Stood the plant in a bowl in case there is some seeds in here and we don't lose any. And I can already see there's not a single pod that has exploded. I've got a feeling this plant has set non-viable seeds. This pod here is definitely not ready. But I'll open them up and see what they look like. So unfortunately my suspicions have been confirmed. I sent Clive Morris an email. He knows everything there is to know about Euphorbia. And he said these tan coloured seeds aren't viable. Out of all of them there's just one darker one there that could potentially germinate. Don't know why this happens sometimes with Euphorbia. Usually if the species are quite closely related, which these are, Symmetrica is technically a subspecies of Obesa, then the plant should set viable seed. Fingers crossed the same doesn't happen with the seed pods in the Obesa. Right, another week later and I think we're good with the Obesa seeds. 5 of the 6 seed pods have exploded and I can already see the seeds look how they're supposed to. Still one pod yet to ripen, but I'll get them out of here now and sow them right away, as Euphorbia seeds don't have a long shelf life. They can start to lose viability after just a couple of weeks. Yeah, this is definitely looking good. All the seeds have come out. You can see all the husks in there. Gently brush those seeds off. Don't want to lose a single one of these, not after what happened with the Symmetrica. And one's already tried to escape. So you can see the difference to how these ones look compared to the Symmetrica seeds. Much darker in colour and look exactly like how Obesa seeds are supposed to look. 14 seeds here. There was 15 but one pinged out of the tweezers as I was picking them up. Still got the one pod left on the plant, but that's not quite ready yet. Right, let's get them sown. Gonna sow them into these tubs. Still don't have any Ziploc bags, but these work just as good. Drilled some holes in the bottom for drainage, and one in the lid as well. Seed sower mix I'm using is John Innes No. 2 compost, some molar clay and vermiculite, all in roughly equal parts. Now Euphorbia seeds and seedlings are a bit different to cactus seedlings. They need that moisture and humidity to germinate, but apparently they don't like to be in that humidity for long after they germinate. So if we get any that do germinate, I will take the lid off these pots. Still keep the soil moist, but just make it so they're not sitting in 100% humidity. Then just put the pots in some water so it can soak up through the entire mix. So it's probably going to be a complete waste of time, but I am still going to sow the tan coloured Symmetrica seeds. You never know, but I highly doubt anything will germinate. The one darker seed we did get, I'll sow that into a separate little pot. And the Obesa seeds aren't falling out of this little plastic pot, so I'm going to place them in using tweezers. Hopefully numping across the room again. They've got like a sticky residue on them. Then I'm just going to lightly cover them with some molar clay. Then give each pot a spray with water. Put the lids on and seal them up. Labels on there so we know which is which, not that anything is going to germinate in a Symmetrica pot. Might get some mould growing there, that's about it. And the one darker Symmetrica seed I'll put into a small pot, then inside one of these clear pots with a lid on. I've put these in a bright location, not in direct sunlight, but they get a bit of light from one of the grow lights here. So yeah, hopefully in a couple of weeks we'll get some of the Obesa germinate. And fingers crossed that single Symmetrica seed germinates as well. As I said, I'm not expecting any of those light coloured Symmetrica seeds to germinate. Just done it as a test really. Should we get any seeds that look like that again in the future, they can just be discarded. So stay tuned for an update video on these, if and when they germinate. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like and comment. Consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell as well so you know when I upload a new video. You all be safe and well, and I shall see you next time. Salamat po paalam. Bye for now.